or the affirmation of the word one. So use your imagination. I want everybody to use their imagination, sit still for a moment, and just be still. So I want you to breathe in and breathe out. Now imagine one as a word that is in the back of your mind, just slightly passing through. Not loudly, just as a quiet whisper, just one. One. So what that can do is that can help anchor you away from the anchors that are trying to get your attention to the anchor of one, which will keep you in the moment. And that's a good technique for yourself because it brings you back to your senses. The reason why a lot of us have those racing thoughts is because our senses are still kind of recorded there. Our senses are still there. A sense of sight is still there. A sense of hearing is still there. A sense of touch is still there. A sense of our touch is still there. A sense of our taste may be still there. And what the mind is doing is trying to get attention. But if you can train the mind to go towards one or something else that can get the right kind of attention, that's how you can stay present. Look, we're human beings, we're not perfect. It still happens to me sometimes, but I've got away from the heavier kind of triggers, and now I could say actually I'm more like feeling as if I'm a Neil right here and now. This can help you as well, because in this lockdown, you may be watching the news, you may be hearing things, cases, people being sick. I have a lot of prayers for everybody who's suffering right now, a lot of prayers for everybody who's ill. I wish them a full speedy recovery. Let's hope and let's pray for them that they recover, because honestly, as a people, we've been through a lot since COVID started, and this is my way of giving back to everybody through mindfulness, and this is another technique. And so those are some techniques of meditation that can really help you. Off the top of my head, there's another two that I think could really help you. So there's one which you may have seen, which is Tony Robbins priming. Now I do that every single day, so that's a 15-minute exercise where if you listen to that video, it starts out with Tony doing a breathing exercise. Then after he does the breathing exercise, he does the 3 moments of gratitude that we can feel. And then after the 3 moments of gratitude, we go into the healing. So after the healing, it's breathing in and out, imagining a white light healing your whole body, from the top of your head all the way through your body, down to your feet, through the ground, and then back up. So that breathing in and out helps you. And then you have 3 goals that you imagine as if they're already done right now. So that's really good for taking the future goal that seems so far away and bringing it much closer to yourself, because at times it can feel like pressure when you're going towards that goal. There's a lot of steps involved. There's always many steps to the goal itself. But at the same time, we all know complexity is the enemy of execution. If we make these steps so big and we put that goal so far away, it feels impossible, right? So what we have to do is visualize it, bring it up close, and make it as real as if it is happening right now. And that helps you to wire it into your body. It gets you out of that feeling of stress and overwhelm. Oh my God, oh my, this is the goal. It's so much pressure to, it's already myself. It's abundance, And that's what we're training ourselves to do. We're training ourselves to believe what we are going for, we are worthy of it. Because what stress does is stress confuses you, it manipulates you, it makes you think you're not as good as what you are. Fear can do that to you. When you listen to fear, you go from being 100 all of a sudden down to 60. That explains why. Have you ever gone into an exam and you were totally ready and you listened to fear and you just went, "Ugh." It's because of that. You see, when you listen to fear too much, it can take your level down. You're actually going in there with anticipation because your body is getting yourself ready for a main event. You're getting yourself pumped, you're in shape, yeah, I'm ready. But that's why you get yourself in a state, you get in a peak state, you go, yes, I'm going to do it. And once you get yourself in that state, stay with that state. Don't listen to fear, don't let it talk to you, don't let it talk you out of it. It will try and come up with as many resources as possible. But trust me, it's all BS. It's not something that you want to listen to. That voice is total BS. There's two voices that live inside of us. There's a voice of saying, I can do it, and there's a voice saying, cannot do it. And so what happens is, when the voice is saying, I can do it, the voice of I can't do it starts looking for people, situations, past failures, past mistakes, past traumas, past this, past that, past this, past that, trying to tell you you can't do it, even though you are right here and now, more than capable, more than enough, more than able to do it. So don't let fear trick you out of it. And I just want to tell everybody as well, as a last note, self-talk is so important, because I can speak from experience. I used to have negative self-talk, but a lot of it in reflection was not my own thoughts, it was other people's thoughts. So you got to be very careful about beating yourself up emotionally. I've got a saying, there's no use beating yourself up emotionally when there's plenty of people who will do that for you. And truthfully, I can say that people who tear you down truthfully feel that about themselves. It's not about you. It takes courage to rise up and overcome your self-doubt every single day. It takes courage. It takes courage to start this podcast. It takes courage to work out. It takes courage to go for your goals. It takes courage to go for success when you're rejected over and over again, but still going, still at it. That takes courage. That takes bravery. When you're somebody that negatively talks about someone, tries to tear somebody down, that's how you feel about yourself, and that's how you feel projecting onto other people. So everybody that's listening to this, if you're feeling bad, I honestly hope and pray that you feel better after listening to all these techniques and trying and using as many to wash out all the bad emotions. Because honestly, everybody, I can tell you that it's not about you. It's never about you. It's about the other person's insecurities. And sometimes we can think it's about us because maybe we got wronged very badly, maybe we got wired negatively, but we can change negative affirmations by washing them out and replacing them with positive affirmations, and we can get better and better at going for what we want and away from what we don't want. Because what the mind does is it tends to remember what's negative more than what's positive. You tend to remember the person that cut you off in traffic, or was rude, as opposed to the person that said hello, bought you a gift, complimented you. So what I started doing was I started making that bigger. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to go towards gratitude, because guess what? If I make that bigger, this irrelevant idiot person who made who'd cut me off in traffic or was rude, doesn't matter, because I'm grateful for that moment to have met a respectful, nice person, and that's a good moment. If we focus on the people that we love, if we look at the situations that we do like, if we look at ourselves and we look at what we're grateful for, that can overcome anything that we don't like, that we don't want. And the best way to look at your life is those that wrong you, they will be let go of. You'll wash them out of your body, you wash them out of your mind, but they just weren't right for you. It's very simple. And in hindsight, you'll see it. You may not see it at the moment, but you will see it in hindsight. It takes a lot of emotional healing, mental healing, physical healing, spiritual healing. But I can honestly say at this level of spirituality that I've reached, with my relationship with God, with my relationship with my family, with the way that I feel good about myself and the way that I contribute back to people, I can only do that because I feel good about me, and I know what my mission is. My mission is to help save men from going down a bad road, is to help save men from toxic masculinity, is to help save men from being negative and thinking that in order to be manly you have to be aggressive to another man. But I can tell you guys, that's not manly. Just because you're bigger and stronger physically than another man gives you absolutely no right to intimidate another man. Because I'm big and strong myself, but guess what? I build up other men. I walk into a room, I see every man as my equal. Doesn't matter about race, sexuality, income, doesn't matter about height, weight, none of that. We're all equal. We're all made equal. We're all God's children. So everybody, I just want you to hear this, that is what I'm here for. I'm here for healing. And there's going to be a lot of situations where you may feel that you gotta be done with people, and that's okay. That is part of the forgiveness process. Forgiveness is about taking back your energy and saying, okay, I don't hate you no more, but guess what? You can go in your direction, I can go in my direction, and I can be at peace with that. And that's totally fine. If you've got to do that for your inner peace, that is best to do that. You don't always need them to forgive you, depending on the situation, as long as you forgive them and as long as you reclaim your energy and your inner strength. So everybody, this is what I'm showing and proving, and this is why I do this podcast. I do it so I can help everybody, and I can say from an honest place, I'm giving back in the best way, and through all of those techniques, I've overcome limiting beliefs, and I've gone from very tough situations to where I am now, happy as a digital marketer, happily running Immunity for the Community. I'm somebody that lost 10 stone in weight, and here I am now giving back, starting a business so I can help other people channel their inner Rocky and become the true them, the superhero inside of all of us. So I hope this has been an amazing podcast for everybody. I hope you've got a lot of value out of this meditation podcast. Everybody, it's been a pleasure, and as I would say, channel your inner Rocky. Let's go. Peace out, everybody. Have amazing weekends. I hope this has been of great value to you. Bye bye now. Have an amazing Valentine's Day tomorrow.